Well, it's no secret that stress is a trigger of fibromyalgia. That's old news, isn't it, really? But there's been another study. They've found some correlation between stress and, well, that's a trigger, I suppose. It's a trigger for fibromyalgia. And this particular study, perceived stress linked with symptom burden in people with fibromyalgia. A study. Now, like I say, anyone who suffers with fibromyalgia already know that stress is a key factor. And it's not just emotional stress, it's also physical stress. If your body's been put through the ringer, basically, maybe you had a car accident, or maybe you had got COVID. All these things can lead to fibromyalgia. And, for instance, Morgan Freeman, he suffers with fibromyalgia, and he had a car accident several years ago. That was it. He believes that was his trigger. But researchers have found in a new study that perceived stress in fibromyalgia patients correlates with symptom burden independent of cortisol levels. Now, indicating a need for full targeted clinical approaches. Further, endocrinological stress indicators were not associated with perceived stress, which was related to symptom severity. Now, as a fibromyalgia sufferer, if I'm run down, my symptoms of fibromyalgia are worse. And it doesn't seem to make a huge amount of difference if I take more medication for it. The best thing I can do is just de-stress and hope that it's gonna pass. It's not usually the case because once you've been triggered with it, you kind of seem to be stuck with it for a while, and it can be debilitating, where you can't actually get on with anything, and it's quite often the case. Now, a lot of people get it down slightly worse than I do. I'm quite, young set at the moment, as in my fibromyalgia. But I know people who basically are stuck in the chairs or in the bed because of the pain. It's so bad. See, fibromyalgia, as you already know, is a chronic disorder characterized by widespread musculoskeletal pain. And at the moment, I'm getting a lot of joint pains. I'm wondering if it's crossing over with rheumatoid arthritis. Oh, no, yeah, rheumatoid arthritis. Because I've been getting a lot of swelling as well, you see. Now, fibromyalgia syndrome is therefore often considered as a stress-related disease. A comparative study was conducted with 99 individuals, a relatively small study, I must say, diagnosed with fibromyalgia syndrome, and a control group of 50 pain-free individuals. Stress indicators were classified into three categories: perceived stress, assessed during the perceived stress scale, and the daily average salivary cortisol and hair cortisol concentrations as indicators of acute and chronic stress levels related to the hypothalamic pituitary adrenal axis. If I've said that right, I don't know. Anyway, analysis of variance and covariance were used to identify group differences and the influence of covariates. Well, that's like age, sex, and body mass. Oh, crikey, that's me. Index. Now, body mass, BMI, it's a little bollocks, let's be honest. There's people out there who've got a large frame or extremely muscular. Their body mass index is going to be way out. So there's a terrible way of working out how much body fat you got. That's ridiculous. So, correlational analysis further elucidated the relationship between stress indicators and clinical symptoms. Participants with fibromyalgia syndrome reported significantly higher perceived stress levels than controls, which were positively correlated with symptom burden. In contrast, there were no significant differences in the endocrinological stress indicators in your saliva and what have you, and hair cortisol between the groups, nor were these indicators associated with clinical symptoms. The study highlights the central role of perceived stress in fibromyalgia syndrome, whereas endocrinological indicators did not differentiate. fibromyalgia syndrome from controls. And this finding calls for a nuanced approach to clinical assessment and therapeutic interventions tailored to patients with fibromyalgia syndrome, emphasising the management of perceived stresses. Whoa. De-stress, basically. De-stress. For me, it would be like going for a walk somewhere, having a relaxing time, or just sitting in the garden, just watching the world go by. In my case, birds and those sort of birds, fluffy one, with feathers and stuff. The birds, the animals, and maybe mess about with the dogs just to relax. And it's so much bad stuff going on at the moment. Political, huge amount. Political, yeah. It's extremely worrying. No wonder people are stressed. No wonder people are worried. No wonder people with fibromyalgia are suffering at the moment. Blame the politicians. That's the best way. Just need to de-stress. And obviously, physical stresses might be something you might not have much control over, especially if you had an accident or you got another physical problem. A condition that causes you other problems, and that's stress. Stress your body out. Your food can stress your body out. There's loads of things. Eating the wrong stuff stress your body out. So you do need to de-stress. Anyway, thank you for watching. Do look.